Nobody wants to be Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen didn't even want to be Scottie Pippen. Let me put that in the context, right? When Scottie Pippen was in high school, he was probably the best basketball player in the whole state that he was playing basketball at. When Scottie Pippen got to college, he was probably the best player on his team. Probably one of the best players in the whole entire country. Probably like top 5 or something.
Scott Pippen.
At 21 years old, Pippen was drafted 5th overall pick, landing him with the Chicago Bulls.
I don't have to look at the record books or the statistics to know that for Scott Pippen, to make it to the league, he had to be one of the best basketball players in the whole entire world.
And he goes in for a dunk. Scottie Pippen, who some say is more athletically inclined than Michael Jordan.
And so his whole life, when they said Scott Pippen, when they said Scottie Pippen.
Bulls back on the break, Pippen on the drive, spins it off to Horace Grant. He lays it in and draws the foul.
Scottie Pippen, a 360 behind the back pass.
They were saying greatness. They were saying like Scottie Pippen was the best basketball player they ever saw in their whole entire lives. And Scottie Pippen, he thought the exact same thing.
How do you want to be remembered?
That's the greatest of all time.
Scottie Pippen's whole life, he was that guy, the best basketball player in his world. And then he showed up at the Chicago Bulls, right? And he got to the Chicago Bulls. He looked on the court. He said, well, damn, I'm Scottie Pippen, but that there, that's Michael Jordan. That guy over there is Michael Jordan. We do two very different things.
But yet the press has positioned it as Magic versus Michael. When you hear that, does it bother you a little bit?
Not really.
And so never in Scottie Pippen's life did he say, I'm going to be the best number 2 basketball player ever. Hell no. That was not Scottie Pippen's dilemma. Scottie Pippen always believed in his mind that he was the best player in the world. Even when he saw Michael Jordan doing all the shit in the air, all that shit like that there.
Pippen underneath. There's Jordan. Score. Basket count.
Scottie Pippen, he still tried his hardest to be the best basketball player that he could possibly be. It just so happened that like anywhere else in the world, Scottie Pippen was Scottie Pippen. But when he was on the Bulls, he was Scottie Pippen.
My junior year, I was a football manager for the football team. And
well, you were the guy that gathered up the athletic supporters and the helmets and stuff. I mean, you were that guy?
Well, yeah, definitely. I was that guy.
Goddamn Robin to Batman. My whole life, I was thinking that men could work together to build amazing things without competing with each other, without thumping with each other.
Watching you and Michael on the court, it looked like 2 best friends out there just crushing everybody. What was your relationship like off the court?
It wasn't what you saw on the court.
I thought that. In every space that I've ever been in with men, whether it was in school or whether playing sports, incarceration, or in the military, man, men are just going to compete. And most of the time when the competition is there, hey, ain't nobody trying to be number 2. Everybody is fighting as hard, working as hard as they possibly can to be number 1, Goddamn.
And do you think that Michael Jordan would be as successful without you?
No.
Scottie Pippen is probably one of the greatest players, one of the top 50 players of all time, and maybe it's just proximity of standing next to greatness, but that's when we get to the psychology of being the number 2 person, because no one is willingly going to say, I want to be number 2.
You call Michael Jordan selfish in the first chapter. Why is that?
I mean, he was a great scorer, but a lot of things that he did was based on him as an individual.
Story time. And so my best friend, what he used to do was he used to sell snow. It's Houston, and in Houston right now it's snowing, but he was a Mexican man and he sold snow for a living. And a lot of times this snow was very expensive. And so as I'm riding around with this guy, as he's selling snow to all of these clients throughout the Houston area, my job riding shotgun is to keep this person safe as he's making transactions on this very expensive snow. That's what I'm supposed to do. At no point in time was I the man who was going to make the transactions to buy bulk snow. I wasn't the snowman, but I was the shotgun man, all right? And so, like, I couldn't be the best snowman because I didn't own enough snow to have my own snow company, but I had to protect the owner of the snow company, and I had to protect the owner of the snow company with my life. And I take my job very serious. I'm going to ride shotgun to the best of my ability, no matter who the driver is. And I think that that's the psychology that's disconnecting men right now. Man, you ain't got to try to be number 1. You got to be the best you possible. And work as hard as you can, and when the work and when the dust settles, we're gonna see. Did we win the championship or did we not win the championship?
In high school, I didn't want to work for anything. I wanted everything to come easy for me. And I don't think I realized that until I got to college.
When Scottie Pippen played his best, when Michael Jordan played his best, when Dennis Rodman and so on and so forth, when these Chicago Bulls played the best they could together in cohesion, hell, they won championships. And when you broke the team up, when Michael Jordan went to go play baseball, they ain't win no championship. When Michael Jordan retired, they ain't win no championship. Scottie Pippen never won a championship without Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan surely never won a championship without Scottie Pippen. And so when we have this slander when it comes to Scottie Pippen is great. And so like for every person who don't want to be number two, even for myself, I mean, there ain't no slight to be called Scottie Pippen. I would love to be Scottie Pippen and induct me into the Hall of Fame.
Pippen's career in the NBA would last 17 seasons, and he'd be named one of the 50 greatest players in NBA history.
I ain't got no problem with being Robin. Hell, I get to be a super friends. Also, I get to get a costume and get cool gadgets and go participate in crime fighting. Nigga, sign me up. I want to be Robin because the goal is to be great. It's not until you got an ego and then you're in proximity to a greater greatness.
Because don't let nobody tell you you can't do, because Scottie Pippen used to walk around and gather towels and
you start comparing yourself. They say comparison is the thief of joy because you can't be grateful for who you are and what you do.
And do you think that Michael Jordan would be as successful without you?
No. But I don't think I would be successful without him.
How you withstand the conflict determines your relationship. If two men are really friends, man, we can really drag out fights and still be cool, right? Because it's not malicious. It's just two strong men really thumping. You can see the thumps, you can see the lumps, but in my heart of hearts, I know this nigga wasn't trying to hurt me, because if he was, I'd be dead. Facts, right? If you and I are in some type of turmoil and you're still breathing, we ain't got no turmoil, because like I'm not that mad at you. I think that we can get past this, because if I thought that you're my enemy.
The Greatest American Alive.